So before we begin, we've got some housekeeping to do. So we'd like to welcome Jillian, a prospect. Maybe I can hand over the mic to you just to do a quick introduction.
Sure. Okay, sure. Hi everyone, I'm Julian. I run a company called Homage. Essentially, we are a health company or what we call a care company, and our services are in-home. We take care of seniors, we take care of those with disability support needs. And currently, we are in our 8th year of operation in 3 countries and in Australia as well. So, yeah, it's good to be here. Thanks for the event, and hope to make friends and learn more about e-therapy. So, thanks.
You gotta buy one before you become.
That's a bad year.
The biggest.
Yeah.
Okay.
9 carat.
9 carat.
Oh, stress.
So maybe a quick introduction
How's the YPO event?
what this event is about. But today's event is called Diamond Discoveries, comparing nature's wonders with lab innovation with our very own Amanda Crew. So today what we'll learn is more about the differences between natural as well as lab-grown diamonds, how they should be prized and valued, and how to tell them apart. In addition, we have also invited Kenneth from Sharp to share a bit about insurance, how we can insure our stocky assets against loss, accidental damage, and theft. So a quick introduction to Amanda, for those who may not be as familiar. She's a YPO member and also a GIA gemologist with 3 generations of jewellery heritage. She has a strong passion for and expertise in gemology as well as entrepreneurship, and she has successfully founded a number of jewellery-related businesses like eClarity, BA Lab-grown Diamonds, as well as the sample line jewellery rental. So today we're very excited to have her share more about diamonds with us. Without further ado, over to you, Amanda.
Thank you so much, Crystal. Thanks, Crystal. Thank you, BD, for arranging this, and thank you everyone for coming over to this place. This is actually our wholesale office, so you will feel the warmth and the intimacy. So I will share as deep as possible. I will share more about myself first, and then we go straight into diamonds. Please interact with me because I don't know how to talk for an hour myself. So just keep asking me questions, and I'll give you free gifts. I have one.
Question, what's the free gift?
That is a valid question. I have prepared some gemstones.
Insured,
1
fully
carat and fully insured. Okay. And I will pass them around, so please just raise question. For me, I'm a new member. I joined YPO about 2 years ago, and I was born in Malaysia, and then I was kidnapped when I was in Malaysia. So I was then sent to Singapore when I was 13 years old, and then I went through the whole Singapore system. So I was a St. Nicholas girl, ACJC, NUS, computer science. I worked for M1 and Citibank for 4 years before I started the business. So how did I start the business? When I was working for M1 and Citibank, I was selling things. I was selling Manuka honey, I was selling nail stickers, and then I was thinking it's very hard to make profit when I did that. There was no Instagram, no Facebook, no eBay. No, there was only eBay. So I became very interested in high value items. I went to New York and I studied gemology. So when I was in New York, I was selling diamonds on eBay just to pay off my expenses. So in New York, it works, right? So when you place order, then I buy. I make a profit of $100 and I'm happy as a student. When I came back to Singapore, people start to ask, can I see it please? Right? So I stationed myself outside Shaw Centre McDonald's, and I was seeing clients selling diamonds. And then they asked, is it real? Because you're in McDonald's, right? So I rented my first shop at Shaw Centre, right? It was a very small place. And the first year, we were selling so low that we were selling very well. So UOB wrote to us and said, Amanda, can you work with us? That was the beginning of eClarity. And then we went to lab grown, and then we went into jewelry rental, which I'll share with you a little bit more later. The biggest diamond I've sold is 21 carat. It was, yeah, people like to ask the size. It's about like that.
Wow.
What was it made into? What can you make it into?
Earring.
Yes.
Earring pendant.
Brooch.
It's a, huh? No, it was a ring.
Ring?
Ring.
Wow.
And it was a Chinese husband with a Taiwanese wife. They bought it for their daughter, 16-year-old back then.
How big is 21 carat?
So 1 carat is equals to 0.2 grams. Multiply. You get that. The skin fingers don't buy that. The injury. Okay, now can of course can.
勉强嘛
Yeah,
，OK
yeah,
了。
yeah. 勉强。
不违章。
400 grams.
Yeah. So back then, because I was a computer science grad, and then I studied gemology. So the first brand was a combination with IT and diamonds. So we had the first online diamond database 20 years ago. So you could go to the website and then you can order diamonds. Singaporeans were not ready, but we were selling to the States a little bit more, Australia a little bit more. So much so that I actually won a Young Entrepreneur Award. I was young then. Thank you. Free gift, please.
Very young.
The free gift is real.
Ooh.
The first one to my foreign brother.
Okay lang ha, okay lang ha.
Alright. So that's about us. Okay, so now I would like Valerie just to start, right? The first thing is, how do you differentiate diamonds? Before we talk about natural and lab grown, I know many of you know 4 C's, but how do you really pick which C is most important? So we'll cover that first, okay? Now Valerie will walk around with 2 diamonds, and please hold it if you want. Pass around. Try not to touch the surface of the diamond just so that you can still appreciate the sparkle and all. Can I have a light bearer to just walk around? Thank you. Yes. Okay. Now I would like you to take some mental notes about the 2 diamonds. Which one do you think is better? Maybe just use the word better. Okay? Okay, slowly, enjoy yourself.
Better as in what?
Which one will you buy now?
Oh, the smaller one.
Okay.
Good thing you come alone.
You got the
Okay, so slowly you will pass around. Okay, so let's go into 4 C's. I'm sure you all know 4 C's, right? Anyone does not? Anyone knows 4 C's? Very good. Only you.
Cost. Don't know. Guarantee, cut, color.
Carrot.
Well done, Crystal. Crystal, come.
Awesome.
Join me.
You go.
Okay, so the 4 C's very simply, I'll give you 1 sentence summary for each C, and you will know more than an average jeweler.
Take the bigger one, it's okay.
Okay.
Okay? Alright. Okay, you're quietly see, okay? Okay. Now the first thing is color. Okay? What is color? Color is really color. So DEF is like water. S to Z is like honey drink. You understand, right? K to M is like diluted honey. Okay? Now there are people who come in and say, Amanda, can I have a microscope? I want to see the color. Now you will laugh at them. Do you need microscope to see color? No. So these are people who are acting. Now you know. So color is seen during lunchtime. You and I sit together. Alamak, mine is yellow, yours is colorless. Can tell. So just use your eye by comparison. But if you are in like a chandelier light setting, it's a bit harder, right? Because all that will be yellow with the yellow light reflection. As long as you walk under the sunlight, that's called daylight assessment. That's accurate. Okay? If you want to take away some of the reflection, see it upside down. That's all. Okay? During lunchtime with your girlfriends, flip the diamond upside down, go under the sun. It's a D and a K, you can tell.
I have a question.
Yes.
So how do you tell between like a S to Z, S is like yellow versus a colored yellow diamond?
So the price goes down to Z, and once it's fancy, it goes up. The sparkle is different. So it looks like dirty yellow, and like Anuka yellow, and suddenly it becomes vibrant yellow. That is when it goes up. That's become a fancy grading. Now, true enough, it's always debatable. Like as a seller, I want to sell it as fancy, you want to buy it as a Z. Right? So you will reissue the certificate until you get a fancy. You try lah.
Can the cut help? By cutting it differently, the brilliance will come out.
It does, but very small percentage. Yeah.
Usually, do I need a mic?
Okay.
No need.
Huh?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
goes.
the echo is so loud.
Yeah, this better.
I project my voice, okay? So that's about color, right? Okay. Now next, move on to clarity. Clarity is only under the microscope. The definition is under the microscope, 10 power, and then the diamond has to be clean, because if not, you're just seeing the dust. So flawless is flawless. That means totally nothing inside. VVS means that there is one dot under the microscope. Okay. VS means 2 dots. SI 3 dots. I 4 dots. As simple as that. I'm simplifying this because it could be a long line, it could be many dots. The dots can come in different colors. They all affect the clarity grading, but it's how obvious it is. Now, if anyone looks at your diamond and say, hey, it's a VVS, again, the person is acting.
I see.
It's impossible. Because today, even if I give you a microscope, you can only guess. Why? Because sometimes the diamond has dust, right? It's on the surface. Under the microscope, they all look the same, whether it's on the surface or inside. So even as a gemologist, went through exams. When I graduated, I only pretended that I know. You only get 50% of the time correct. And as you grade with life experiences and you talk to gemologists, you compare notes, then finally you get the correct grading. Every diamond in GIA is graded by 5 gemologists. Majority wins. So it's a very personal thing. If I'm a very strict gemologist, I probably always say SI. But you're more lenient, you probably say all VVS. So that's why you need 5 gemologists to keep a centralized system to make sure that your report is consistent. How do you know whether a report is consistent? I can actually check the lab. So I send a diamond to you. 2 years later, I send the same diamond to you. 2 years later, I send the same diamond to you and see whether you always give me the same grade. So GIA and IGI are known to be very consistent, right? That's why they are your 2 major labs. Later, I'll go deeper into the 2 labs. Okay, which one is more, which one specialized in which area? Okay. So now that you know color and clarity, what kind of combination do you think you will get? You see, if you get, okay, it's okay, just buy more diamonds.
So you got a big bag.
So now you see, a smarter combination will be one that is, say, DEF VS, isn't it? You compare DEF VS, probably the same price as KLM Flawless. Which one will you buy?
Yeah.
You're now smarter, right? Now, if you get GHIJ VVS, average, right? You're not optimizing your knowledge on diamonds. But if you choose DEF VS, that's a good buy. When you wear out, it's so colorless. And the inclusion, you need a gemologist technologist with a microscope and experience to see the difference, and has to be totally clean with no dust. Right, so that would be a smarter combination. During the natural days when there were no lab-grown diamonds, I have some poor guys who say, Amanda, you know, my girlfriend say that she won't marry me unless I buy her a 2 carat. And you know, young doctor just graduated, you know. Then I say, never mind, now we
She's
go.
your friend.
That's one option, right? But I didn't suggest that. So they could go for, let's say, JSI2. That's stretching it a bit. But the poor guy get a wife lah. Right? So, but just don't do things like M color VS, right? Don't do that. Now you know, right? Don't do that. Okay.
How do you make sure there's no dust? So you need to wash it, or?
Yeah. So there's proper way to wash it. You dry it with a hair dryer. So you blow away all the dust. You do like that. The fiber of the cloth is then your clarity. Right. Yeah. So it's okay. No need to wash, just buy. Easier way. Like, wash takes time, huh? And then let's move on to cut grade, right? Now, cut is the most confusing see if you Google online, right? Because there are so many branded cuts in the market. You walk into every jewelry shop, they will tell you mine is the best, right? Huh? I'm sure. Okay, you've been through that. A 1-sentence summary for cut grade is the BMI of the diamond. BMI, you get it? Body mass index. So some diamonds are cut too deeply, some diamonds are too shallow. When it's too shallow, we call it a fish eye reflection. Just, you know these terms, you sound very professional. Fish eye. Can you imagine? Like the light is very shallow. Fish eye. Yeah. When it's too deep, sometimes we call it bow tie. Like it forms this triangle that are dark in color. So it's bow tie reflection and fish eye reflection. When it's just nice, the light is supposed to go like that, like that, like that, and shoot back to your eyes, and you say, "Okay, I'll marry you." It's so sucky.
Already married.
I'll marry you again.
Can buy for girlfriend, right?
It's okay. It's okay. Double the sale. Okay. So that is the light reflection. Okay. So I always say that you know, GIA has the excellent, very good, good, fair, poor, right? These are the grading, and they are quantitative and qualitative measurement. So we don't go in there and say, can I have table percentage 56 to 57, the depth 57, 59? Don't need. People who come in, you are trying to say that I don't trust GIA system, you know? I want to choose my own dimension. Unless it's your lucky number lah. Right? If it's not, we can trust the system. It's as stringent as the BMI calculation. Okay? So on top of that, you have things like hearts and arrow, isn't it? Have you heard of that? Like later we will show. Can I have hearts and arrow scope? So there is this scope where you see the diamonds, it presents 8 arrows and 8 hearts. Very romantic, right? You walk to a jewelry store, they say very romantic, double the price. Our cost is the same. So yeah, it's just this little gadget. Later we can show you as well. You put the diamond here, you see it has 8 arrows, you flip side 8 hearts. So buy if you think it's romantic, but don't believe in a salesperson when he say this is sparklier. It's sparklier in your heart. Right? Because got arrows, got hearts. So that is one of the popular branded cards, but it's not necessary. Okay? But cleanliness is so important, isn't it? Because why? You buy an excellent cut diamond because you want it to sparkle. But you eat chili crab with the diamond ring on. What's going to happen? It's going to look extremely dirty, right? We even have ring, because E-Clarity, we have lifetime diamond spa free of charge. You can bring your diamond back, we can spa the diamond for you. We received ring that is smelly before, because they drop inside with food, you know, and then it's smelly. And then we pull out remnants of chili crab. That's why I say chili crab, like got stuck inside, you know, the shell. So then it's surely dirty. Does it still sparkle? doesn't sparkle. Half an arrow also cannot use it, cannot help anymore. So keep it clean. That's another C. Tristan says C, there's a cost. Another C, cleanliness. So in fact, I came up with 8 C's. I'll tell you more about it. So this is a crucial 4 C's, but I'll talk about 8 C's later. So that's for cut grade. Okay, just since we're on cut grade, sometimes you'll hear the word ideal cut, right? You will hear the word perfect cut. Sometimes it's just English word, like I just say, oh, it's very perfect, but there is no such grade. But in another scenario, it's different certs. Meaning, let's say we talk about university. Let's say in your university, you score 100 marks, you get an A star. I score 100 in my school, I get a distinction. Does that mean I'm better than you? No, we are both 100 marks. It's just different terms. So GIA and IGI and EGI and HRD, they all have different terms. Some of them use ideal, some of them use excellent, but they all mean the same thing. That means in their grading system, they think it's the best. So just different, okay? So IGI call ideal, GIA call it excellent. These are just the terms, okay?
So cut does not refer to like princess cut or emerald cut. It doesn't,
Confusing, right? So that could be the shape.
Oh, that
So
shape,
the better way to say is a shape.
Which shape is the
Ideal.
Thank you. So the brilliant cut is invented for round. The rest just copy. You know the kite shape, right? That's called the brilliant cut. In the world cutting, there are only 2 types. One is the kite shape, which is called brilliant cut. The other one is step cut, which is your emerald cut, your radiant. They are all step. So in the world there are 2 types, right? The kite shape is invented for round. Quantitatively, it reflects the maximum amount of light reflection back to your eyes. And then your heart shape, your pear, your oval, all just copy lah. Longer, you know, sharper, they just copy princess, right? So round is sparkliest. Okay. Cushion is known as the chandelier diamond, so it's very romantic. The light is very yellow. It reflects yellow light more, but it's very romantic. Princess cut is the one that's squarish. Actually, we have everything here. Later you could see. Princess cut is angular. Now, if you throw 2 diamonds from level 20 to ground floor, your round can survive the fall, most likely. Your princess, don't be surprised, the corners could chip. Forever lah, but 1 angle lesser.
what about the number of facets?
57, 58 is the recognized ones.
And nowadays they are increasing it.
Not nowadays, again,
Okay,
those
for a
are
long time, yes, yes.
those are really the branded cut again.
Yes.
Right? So you see, let's say if we all sell 57, 58, we're only fighting on one thing, price. So what jewelers do is you come up with hearts and arrow, you come up with hearts on fire, you come up with 108 cut, you come up with 188 cut, and then we all say we are the best. Right? As long as you come up with your pamphlet convincing enough, you have set up your brand. We're all brand owners here, so you know this is the game that we all play.
So it doesn't help with more sparkles, it doesn't
The
help
fact
with more
is,
value.
when you have more or less than 57, 58, you're not recognized as the recognized cut. In fact, when you can't produce your receipt to prove that it is the value become less. Because the person who buy, let's say I come up with a 88 facet Empress cut, let's say today, you and I, we set up a brand, we call it 88 facet Empress cut. We need to sell the brand, you know, we need to sell the story. Let's say 5 years later, we don't want to do it anymore. Your 88 facets will then have no supporting document to support the price. So in my 20 years, I've seen many brands and many different cuts. I don't know whether you have seen some celestial cut. They are all gone, right? They come and they are gone. They're all contractual. So 5 years, if it doesn't sell, they stop producing, then there's no more. That's how it works. So only 57, 58 is part of the diamond cut evolution. It's recognized.
The standard.
Standard. So like last time, remember rose cut diamond? Madonna, she was proposed with with a 15 karat rose cut diamond. That's an antique cut that's recognized. So it's not a branded cut. Rose cut, we can Google that. 15 karat Madonna rose cut is an antique cut that's recognized. So although the evolution has moved to round brilliant, it is still very valuable because it's recognized in the mainstream evolution, diamond cut evolution.
So the round brilliant is still the mainstream,
It
the
is.
standard.
Yes, all the brilliant cuts. So not the 88 facet 108, 128. They are not.
So who is the authority to say this is recognized?
So gemologist. So GIA is now the person lah. They are the master lah.
Yeah.
Whatever they say, we
It's
say
like
okay,
how
okay lah.
Jackie.
Okay, understand.
We just okay lah, listen. Because they are the biggest.
Did Tiffany did their own princess cut?
They come up with a lot of their cut.
Their own cut, right?
Their own cut. Then you try to sell lah.
Yeah.
You can't sell lah. Try lah. Right? Can't. Right? It's true. So like they have their what true cut, right?
True cut.
My guys, true cut. So you can buy. When you buy, it's very romantic. You feel that your husband loves you a lot, right?
Really,
Because it's
round
very-
brilliant is good enough. Go for a bigger size.
Okay, that's very practical, right? That's take home lah. Enough. End of session. No, so that is that is very pricey because of the brand, right? But when you try to sell, so between us, you can see you can try to sell on Carousel and all that. Who buys? Who buys? Only if you believe in Tiffany. So one thing good about Tiffany is that it's still a brand that is still around, right? But what if that brand is not around anymore?
I watch out.
We don't come out with our own cut.
Yeah.
So we are like a wholesaler. So when I started the business, I actually sold to Li Hua. Yeah, so I was very young. When I started, I was 25, 26 years old. So I designed my own thing. I faxed to them, those who know fax machine. I faxed to them, they place order 55555. I said, yeah. Then I make for them, but they don't pay. They pay like 60 days, 90 days. And then I didn't have money, right? I'm like, 90 days, how do I produce the next batch? Yeah. Then we started doing a bit of retail, because retail you pay immediately. That was how I started. Okay. No. Previous slide, please, Sarah. Haven't finished. Lastly, carrot. Very easy to understand. We all know carrot.
Wait.
What is carrot? Size.
Let me eat
So, carrot is actually weight. 1 carat is 0.2 grams. But most people would say that it's a size. Are you wrong? No, you're not wrong. Right? You're not wrong. Because you do use the size to sort of gauge it. Right? But it's actually the weight. Now that you know diamonds, you look at the 4 C's, right? Which C do you think is most obvious? Free gift again. Which C do you think is most obvious?
Size?
Carrot. Followed by?
Color.
Clarity.
Followed by?
Color.
Color.
Cost.
Right? So again, right? The most obvious C will be?
Carrot.
Okay, just now, Valerie walked around with the 2 diamonds, right? Now see whether you have better idea, right? Just now you don't know what you were seeing, I guess. Now these 2 diamonds, what's the first thing you can tell? Thank you. Right? The first thing is the carat. Which one is bigger?
The left.
This one, right? So this is a 2.5 carat. This is a 1.5 carat. Okay, what's the second thing you can tell?
Yeah.
Color. Which one is more yellow?
The bigger one.
This one more yellow, right?
Yeah.
Can tell?
Yeah.
This one is more yellow. Huh?
No, the bigger one. Yeah, the bigger one is more yellow.
Okay, so this is a J color. This is an E color.
Maybe this fancy.
No.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, trying very hard, okay?
Thank
J
you.
color.
The other way around, actually the one. Okay, so this is J color, this is E color. Now you know how to see, right? Now, can you see the card? Which one is sparklier?
I don't know, I just look at the size.
Right?
The brilliant cut, right?
The smaller
No,
ones.
can you see which one sparkle better?
The smaller one. It's difficult, they're almost the same.
Can you hear yourself? It's getting harder.
It's getting confusing.
It's getting harder. Even I don't remember.
The big one.
Huh? Can you check? Okay, let's check. And lastly, I remember the clarity. Now, do you dare to say
No.
clarity now?
No.
You
Sure.
wouldn't, right?
Can't see it.
No. No, as in, like, I wouldn't, right? Let's say whenever I attend event, right? People will say, Amanda, you're the gemologist, right? What do you think of my diamond?
Yeah.
I don't
Very
dare
bad.
lah.
Oh.
I don't dare lah because you can't. How
So
do
when they say buy VDS and I mean, it's really not
they
necessary.
want you to pay more lah,
Mm.
right?
Is there like a minimum quality that you should buy?
I answer that. Okay, very good question. Sorry, which? No, clarity I know. So this is the SI,
Mm.
SI, you know, and this is the VVS.
VDS.
Yeah.
VBS or VS?
VVS. This is the VVS. This is the SI. Yeah.
Naked eye can't tell anyway.
Okay. So the question to minimum, right? So I attended this couple. So I explained the same thing, right? Then the girl said, if he buys an SI for me, that means he doesn't love me. Sorry. Right? So SI doesn't sound very good. So it affects sometimes, you know. So it's more psychological sometimes. So sorry guys. Yeah. The thing about VVS and VS, they sound the same. They look the same. Sometimes they even forget which one is better than the other one. So I think VVS and VS are still reasonable, right? But SI, it really, you know, unless you're really looking for a good deal, it really doesn't sound so good. And you have to go to a trusted jeweler as well, because SI, 50% of them, when you see like that, you can't see, but when you go home, you keep staring at it, you start imagining that you're then you think you want to buy another piece. So guy, be careful. Then you become buy 2 pieces.
This smack
Very
your eyes.
So SI has this problem. Just another word, right, of caution is that if you buy emerald cup, you know which one? This one?
Yeah.
This one cannot go SI for sure. Because the table is too clean and transparent. This one have to go VS1 and above. Especially this kind of size. If you buy very small one, never mind. Like 0.7, never mind. But you know, if you buy this size, then you have to go VS1 and above. Only this shape.
What about VS1 and VS2 too? VVS1, VVS2.
Very, very close.
It's just one inclusion and two inclusion, is that what it
It's
is?
a one. So it's not just the number, right?
Yeah.
Just now I was trying to make it easy. It has the size of the inclusion, the
Yeah.
position of the inclusion, the color of the inclusion.
Okay.
A crystal is more favorable than a feather, for example. A pinpoint is more favorable than a crystal. For those who don't know, pinpoint is a dot, crystal is a circle, feather is a line. So the line is the worst, the dot is the best, the circle is in between. Right? And then there's indented natural, which is the worst. Indented natural. Yeah. But leave it to your gemologist. You're not trying to be one. So if you think VS is okay, just buy VS. We have thought about all that for you. And 5 gemologists think for you, regardless of your size. Like you buy a 0.3 or 5 carat, 5 gemologists grade every diamond.
So you should always buy a diamond with certification.
That is also a very good question. Now, right, as per your question, you say we're not going to sell it, what?
Yeah.
So why with cert? This is the reason why with cert. Because if no cert, that means I say one, you know. I say DVVS, no? I say one, no? So, yeah.
And you may want to sell it, you may want to upgrade and sell the smaller one and buy a bigger one.
Sure,
Who
sure.
knows?
I mean, with,
Then it's better
with
to have a-
selling in mind, you surely want a report, right? But without selling in mind, why do you want a report? It is for that reason. Because without a report, who comes out with the grading? It's the seller, right? And I could say anything I like. So do get a report. Now when we say get a report, just so that you know, even I can issue a report because I'm a gemologist. Should you get my report?
GIA.
No. Why you say no? Okay. No discount.
That's it.
Report is free, you know. I will take a report.
I want to make him happy.
Honest.
From SI become non-SI.
Become fancy.
Let me tell you why not my report. Because firstly, today I bad mood, maybe my grading will be lower. No, tomorrow I'm happier, the grading is better. I am not consistent. And if you go to New York, you say, my Amanda from Orchard Road say this is a DVVS, no, you better give me the price. Who is Amanda? Where is Orchard Road, right? So, cannot lah. So that's why it has to be GIA. Not just, actually you and I, we could also come up with a cert, no? We can say A,
YPO sir.
YPO cert. Then you think it's very atas, right? Like, wow. No. So it has to be GIA or IGI. Now even the HRD, EGL, all that, a bit debatable sometimes. I mean, they are big lab, but between us, behind closed door, it's a bit more debatable. Like you bring an EGL, you say, hey, it's a DVVS. And then, EGL is very lenient. And they will try to buy at FVS price. Or we will say, let's send to GIA for the final say. So might as well just get a GIA, and just negotiate. Or buy from eClarity, wholesale price. Right? Yeah, so that is.
What about, did anybody like De Beers ever try to do their own lab? Like to try and get that off the ground, that they just were not successful? Or?
DBS, their own report.
Yeah, or has GIA always been the standard?
Yeah, because, okay, let me share with you a bit about why the grading system started. So before that, it was all we say, like I open a shop, I say my grade is A. Then you are my competitor, you say mine is AA. Then you say mine is AAA. So it was very messy. It was just whatever we say. In 1950s, GIA said, let's centralize this. That's why it starts from a D, It's because ABC was messed up. So they came up with the system and said, let's start with a D. No one used that. Quite smart. And then they go DEF. So they were the first, and they did it well enough. So they sort of remained as the master, to be honest, until recently. Interesting. So what happened was, the lab-grown diamonds become extremely popular. We will go in that topic soon. GIA said, no, we don't grade lab-grown. We are very sophisticated, right? IGI, the number 2, quietly said, we will grade lab-grown, right? So they started grading lab-grown first, right? And they issue you proper report of IGI cert for lab-grown. Look exactly like natural diamond report. Now GIA in 2020 April say, okay, now we also want to grade because IGI is doing well. But they say, because it's lab grown, no physical report. You scan online one. So while they come in late and they play this kind of game, very hard to sell lah. Like you want to buy a GIA lab grown from me, I say, sorry, no report. You have to scan and then you go online. You are already worried about lab grown, and then I don't give you a physical report. So it didn't take off. IGI is now the king of lab grown grading. GIA is the king of natural. They could not, GIA cannot come in. Yeah. So because of the volume and the consistency, IGI is getting more and more stable in the lab grown world. And the fact that IGI, lab grown diamond is selling well, that also means that IGI now has bigger volume. Okay, so this is almost a very pivotal moment.
In lab grown, you will never do any stone that have inclusion, right? It's perfect.
Very interesting question.
Would it be?
Let's move on to that. Okay, so now that you know 4 C's, I just very quickly cover the other 4 C's, which is cost, cleanliness, certification, and crafting. Crafting, because if I craft it, I make it not very nice. You want a Hong Kong craftsman with which my Hong Kong craftsman is sitting there, getting ready to mount. Sifu, Angkok Sifu later will demonstrate how to mount a 2 carat. And because he wants to go back and have dinner, so later we quickly let him mount and then go home. Tặng nghe tờ nè. Okay, that's Okay, what was I saying? Yeah, so this is the 8 C's, right? This is the 8 C's. So bear in mind that I think all are important, right? Cleanliness, certification, cost, and crafting. Okay, next let's go into lab grown and lab grown very quickly before Sifu. Diamond test. Okay, good. Your question was?
In other words, if you are doing a lab grown, why do you want to have inclusion? It should be flawless all the
Why do you
time.
want to have inclusion? Yes, I don't want to, but I cannot control. Okay, so I was observing lab grown diamond 20 years ago when I first came to the industry, right? And you know, back then there was already lab grown 20 years ago, but the lab grown was huge, like 40 carat.
Industrial.
And they are not industrial, like they sell. They are all pink. I tell you why. They couldn't control the environment well. You know what caused pink diamond? When the pressure is additional pressure. Like alamak, wrong control, it becomes pink. They cannot control it well. When it's not hard enough, it's not diamond. When it's too hard, it becomes pink. Too hard, becomes brown. So they were not able to control it well, number one. Now, when you have boron, it turns blue. When you have nitrogen, it turns yellow. So 20 years ago, all the lab grown diamonds were colored. And it was expensive, so they might as well don't do the 1 carat. They grow a 20 carat for you, a 40 carat for you. So there was no commercial motivation to buy lab grown diamond because it's so costly, right? So what happened is technological advancement till about a few years ago, they finally are able to control the environment well and bring the cost down. So now lab grown diamond is commercially possible and attractive. Yeah, and they are able to control the color. Now for now, the microscopic inclusions, while yes, there are more flawless diamonds in the lab grown than natural, but it's still rare. So the rarity has also formed the 4 C's very well. You know, so the flawless is still more expensive than the VVS, VS. And comes to this question, right? Between natural and lab grown diamond, you know, one sentence summary, how do you differentiate them? Okay, so actually what is it? What is lab grown diamond? It's actually diamond that is formed in the lab. So diamonds are formed 90 to 120 kilometers below the world with high pressure, high temperature, presence of carbon, diamonds are formed. So they mimic the environment in the lab and diamonds are formed. So it's real. Same physical, chemical, optical properties. Diamond test positive. Okay, that is lab grown diamond. Now, okay, be very careful because our guys went to Lazada and Google lab grown diamond. There are lab grown diamonds that's $20. Those are not. Those are lab grown stone. I don't know what they are selling, but it's not lab grown diamond. So lab grown diamond, the real one, come with IGI report, not the wrong spelling one, the correct spelling. Because we saw what IGA, yeah, like GII or something. So these are not. So a very simple analogy is your natural diamond is your baby, the lab grown diamond is your IVF baby. Okay, and it has to come with either GIA or IGI report.
The difference is natural born babies are much cheaper than IVF babies.
Yes.
This is not the case
Very
with diamonds.
smartly pointed out.
It's the opposite with diamonds.
Yes, it is. Okay. Yeah, you're right. So yeah, it's
and
the
how
other way
long
around.
does it take to grow one in a lab?
Actually, just a day.
Just one day.
Yeah, just a day.
Wow.
Yeah. Of course, you go through the grading, the cutting, the yield calculation process. Those are the same. But the growing, yes, one is millions of years, right? And you need to have the mine, the mine holders and all that. That one just grow in the lab.
And when they grow, it just comes as a natural spec stone. Then you have to cut it.
Yes, just like
Natural
natural,
diamond.
right? It actually look like a rock.
Mm.
Yeah, then you have to do your yield calculation. Which part is messed up, you cut it out, and then which part can use, and then you have to decide. Do you want to cut a flawless 1 carat, or you want to cut a VS2 2 carat? Your yield calculations. That's another study by itself.
So how big typically grown diamond can
The rock.
can make?
So there are different machines. So like we were thinking about investing in the machine. So then you read the specs. Some can grow bigger one, some can grow smaller one. The bigger one is more expensive. Yeah.
And typically how many grams or what?
Usually not too big though.
Not too
too big. Yeah, not too big. Like the rough maybe 3 carats,
Okay.
but you need to cut away. So it's still very hard to, let's say, have 5-6 carat, right? Then you need a more sophisticated machine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the diamond that is there's a hardness calculation, right? To
Morph
determine
scale.
Morph scale is called a diamond. 100 is something like that.
10.
10. Okay. Anything less than 10 is not a diamond.
Surely not.
Okay.
So diamond, this is the property of diamond. That's why we say physical, chemical, optical property, right? Its hardness, morph scale is 10. Lab grown natural, they are baby and IVF baby. So everyone has a lung, right? So it's the same thing. The hardness is 10.
Now, how much value is in the cutting process? Because I've seen like necklaces made of uncut diamonds, and the prices are actually somewhat reasonable.
Of course. Like what I said, just now the 3 carat, when you cut it, it becomes a 1 carat.
Okay.
Because a lot of parts are messed up. So it's not the actual cutting, but it's actually how much of it can be cut into a good diamond. You never know. You can actually buy a 3 carat rough and only 0.5 comes out.
So
You
the
never
craftsman
know.
is important, huh?
The cutter.
The
But
cutting.
now we use technology very fast. Option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4, right? Option 1 is a 2 carat, got clarity, SI1. Or option 2, 1 carat flawless. Which one do you want? Right? So you decide. Okay? Yeah. Can we at this point invite Sifu to mount first, right?
Okay, Sifu.
Wow. This is our Agok Sifu. Can we turn on the aircon a little bit? I think a bit. Yeah. Thank you.
Amanda, will you go a little bit more detail into natural versus even from a value point and
Of course.
what's the
I
impact
just
on
want to
the
let him go and
okay.
have dinner. So,
We have the best seat.
yeah.
師傅，
隨便哪一個咯，
可以
隨便攞啊。
隨便攞啊。
你相識幾多年啦
OK 啦。
幾多年
50
50年，你幾歲？
我10幾歲，
就開始，咁你都好後生喎。
都領洗60幾啦。
50 years experience mounting. So I asked him how old he is.
So you're gonna be looking very young.
60.
But can
You
you
smell the
imagine,
diamond dust.
right? 60 over years old, but they can see all the laser inscription, you know. We, the young ones, like Amanda cannot see, you know. This 60 years old. Okay, so now, seafood. Okay, oops. So this is a 2 carat diamond, and then this is a ring. Can I have a just open it. 師傅，你有帶自己嘅架針㗎？
你有冇
Tweezer 有，Tweezer。
我入幾大？
緊要，我其實都有。Okay. Okay, so so this is so Sifu has done a bit of job lah, because what he did was, you see these are the prongs, right? I don't know whether you can see, but he created a notch inside the prong, like a sitting position already. So first he has to make sure the diameter and the distance are correct, and then he created a notch. So now you just see how he pushed it inside, and also how to QC the product. 師傅你可以傾偈㗎嘛？最好冇
就咁福建啦。係陣間嗰粒石唔知飛咗邊。
呢度啊？幫你
順手啫，唔好快。
I asked him whether he could chit chat. Is he better
Don't
now?
distract him.
Yeah, later the diamond fly. Okay.
So it's not glue on, just the clamp on, that's all.
Yes. So it's really the intensity of the white gold or the platinum, and that's why I actually like white gold better because it's more malleable. The spring is better than platinum.
So you drop out, you can drop out.
It can. You try throwing it from level 20 to ground floor, it surely drop.
So what about you knock against something, will you?
No lah.
It will.
Seafood mah.
catch something.
This seafood mah. So then we talk about craftsmanship. Okay, so he's further adjusting the prong. So 震我師傅俾人睇住，哦，質震地啊！
梗係手震啦，因為肚餓。
我冇嘢食，我出有，我攞俾你啊！
我講笑嘅。
Samantha, the whole what do you call it, the setting is done by you. So
The
already.
setting is our design. So we passed to him a few days ago to prepare for today. So he created the notch just so that because to make the knot he needs his tools, right? So yeah.
So the notch is the claw that's
Yeah, so there's like this is the claw, right? He created knot inside every
hold it, is it?
Yeah, to hold the edge of the diamond like.
so that the girdle of the diamond can push in.
因為通常我哋做係有一張功夫台，因為呢度冇，明白？然後爭
Yeah. He needs his tool table.
Sit on the when you sit.
師傅大石容易傷啲，或者細石容易傷啲啊？
我哋咁嘅年紀係大些，
哦，個眼
因為細粒睇唔到啦。
I don't know. Big stones are easier to mount than the smaller ones. So don't buy too small diamonds.
The craftsmanship is even more expensive.
Yeah. 咁點解你又大石貴啲嘅？
因為南商啲嘛，
係咩？好啦，
同埋危險度都高啲。
係見到。Okay, now is
我哋準備
adjusted.
推入去，
Okay,
可能我聽到聲嘅。
okay. Listen to the
Correct.
sound. So after he mounts, I will check if it's still moving. If it's moving, it's failed.
So the bottom is sitting on the.
Now, a good craftsman doesn't let the culet touch the bottom.
Just float.
It should be
You're
floating.
afraid to shine, right?
Yeah, because why? When it's all the way at the bottom,
dust.
you collect dust, right? So it's very dirty. A confident one will always lift it up.
And when you hear a click sound,
Because when it's very precise, right, the stone just go into the
fit into the claw.
to the claw.
standard, right? 4 claws.
4 claws is classic, yes. So 4, 6 is classic, right? No 8 lah. Oh, yeah, that one very big.
Is it true that if the diamond is too big, actually 4 is very light?
True, true,
Going up.
true.
So is there like a size of
Yeah, there is like a little recommendation. But having said that, it's still quite secure, right? Unless let's say you're buying really 20 carat, for example.
not a problem of face lah, so
No, we chatted.
You never
before
know
this.
lah, Crystal. Maybe yours need 8
I
lah.
message
Very tough way. He's paying, he's not coming.
We will all text away.
Yes.
Congratulations, Fu
Crystal has chosen. We all agree.
Visa, Master, pay now.
Yeah.
到嗎師傅？
收到。
收到。
Oh yes.
Is it okay？我幫你查下，整下個 tweezer。Okay, so he said it's mounted, right? So we make sure not to fall. And then how we QC? So Val is actually our production team. She does QC every day. So we hold by the two side. There's no movement at all. You know, when you hold tight, there's actually no movement of the diamond. That's how we QC as well. Let's say you wear a ring, you come back 1 year later, we check if the mounting is still good. That's how we check it to make sure that it's firm. 咁快手，師傅？
邊會快啊？
咁
收咗好耐啦。
係啊，哇，真係好快手。Yeah, so you could take a look.
我聽過應該好實。
So if it's not safe, does the whole ring need to be, because sometimes the claw wears away, or does the whole ring
can
need
use
to be
it.
reset?
Yeah.
Or does the whole ring need to be reset, or can the claw just be?
Depending, so we will assess for you. Sometimes it's just
cleansing.
retightening. Sometimes if the claws are broken,
Yeah.
then we need to reconstruct it. Too small. 師傅，
係。
細一點。
多謝。
你肚餓啊嘛？
多謝多謝多謝。
點解會入呢行嘅？
因為讀書冇興趣讀書。
喺香港。So Sifu was in Hong Kong and no interest in studying. So went to 幾時嚟新加坡？
應該21歲啊嘛。
21歲，21 years ago came to Singapore. 不過你學師係喺香港學，learn in Hong Kong。
點解嚟先？
啱玩。
老婆咧，老婆新加坡人啊。
喺度啦。
咁就簡單咯。
可以搣走啦。明白。你揾唔到老婆啊？
The wife is Singaporean.
Maybe
that's why he's here.
好彩啊你，
好彩。
好彩，新加坡好嘛？
係啊，新加坡女仔嗰啲啊。
梗係啦，唔係翻去俾老婆打。
老婆唔喺度喎。
呢度全部新加坡人啊。
唔該啦。
唔該唔該。呢個 photo 要師傅啦，師傅要你張相㗎嘛？
好得冇問題。
你好似佢哋咁，我過嚟。
OK。
師傅，你坐。
呢個都要知。
俾老細做。
好，啱嘅啱嘅。
你哋喺嗰度影係咪？你坐啦，你師傅你大塊。OK， 1, 2, go。
We take this?
OK，拜拜。
知會食下嘢啦。
得冇問題。我冇講少嘢啦，我食咗先嚟嘅啦。
OK，好，
OK，
再見。
拜拜。
Okay, this one you. All right.
太小了，太小了。
太小了哈，太小了。2 carats too small.
So mentor, you cannot tell whether it's a lab grown or a
I cannot tell. So anyone who say they can tell, they are again acting. Can you tell between natural and lifestyle type? Can you tell between baby and IVF baby?
Can. Same one ah.
So whenever a customer asks me, I always say as a doctor, they say as a dermatologist, can you tell? I say as a doctor, can you tell between baby and IVF baby? You can't
So then why, I mean, it's just puts a big question mark on why we pay more for natural diamonds.
Yeah.
And what is the future then of?
So it is the fact that it's organic, you know, it is, it takes millions of years.
You feel better.
Yeah.
You feel better.
Yeah, like, yeah.
You know that the value is higher.
It's
So-
like buying a vintage Ferrari versus a new Ferrari.
Okay, I don't know.
No. So obviously natural gold diamonds value has taken a little bit of a.
Good question. Let's go in depth. Okay, so let's look at prices first, Sarah. Okay, so let's cover this, right? So natural diamonds and lab grown diamonds. Diamond simulant is something that I want you to be careful, because everyone is calling those things lab grown diamond as well, right? I even walked past Wisma. There was a shop that say lab grown diamond collection. And it is actually not lab grown diamond, but the brand is lab grown diamond.
Oh my god.
The brand is called lab grown diamond. At level 5, I don't know whether they're still there. But you just ask them, what is the hardness? They say it's very close to 10. Now once you hear very close to 10, it's not 10, right? Then it's not. Yeah. Then you ask, is there report? Oh yes, it's a HIT report. Then no, it's not. Right? So just remember, only GIA, only IGI hardness has to be 10. Right? So be careful of diamond similars. They can be anything. Moissanite, CZ, glass, plastic, anything. Last one is colorless gemstone. That one is very easy to tell. Like your sapphire, that's colorless. Your topaz, that's colorless. Are they real? They're real. They're not diamonds. They're not. So the hardness can be 9, can be 8. Yeah. Okay. Next please.
So Amanda, how do they polish diamonds if they are the hardest element?
Use a diamond.
Another diamond.
You use a diamond to cut a diamond.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, this is too technical. I don't think they are interested.
Yep.
Okay, so you look at this 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you tell which is which? It's actually here, but because you can't see, we put it up there. Make a guess. Which is which?
lab grown, is it?
Yeah. Okay, which is the easiest one?
Number
What
2.
is number 2?
Number 2.
Number 2 is don't
Colourless.
know what lah.
Answer is that. Hello. I think so.
You're not wrong. It's a colorless topaz. So is it real? It's real. But is it diamond? No, it's a topaz that is real. So I call them a puppy lah. If it's a baby, IVF is a puppy. Right? It's still a real life, but it's not a same species. Okay, and then which one looks weird here?
4.
Number 1.
Why?
I don't know. Looks like a rubbish.
Oh, you know, it could be the real one.
3 and 4 look almost the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
From here.
So 4 is natural diamond, brother.
Really? So I'm not cut out to buy natural diamond. What kind of sign? It's a sign.
But it's more obvious when you see the real one in the picture. It's more difficult.
Really? I thought it's more obvious here, but okay, okay. So 4 is natural, 3 is lab grown. Okay, they should look the same. Whatever difference that you see, it could be a photography, it could be whatever. It's baby and IVF baby. So number 2 is your puppy, right? Number 1 is your robot. A robot that can cry, a robot that can mop the floor, but it's not human, right? So that's a diamond simulant, right? Okay.
So
Yeah.
the diamond simulant in the hardness itself is
Less than 10.
is
It
that
can be
less than 10.
anything.
Okay,
Because
any
it can be
okay, anything. I
If it's
see.
glass, it's
Okay,
what,
okay.
7.
Okay.
If it's if it's a moissanite, I think it's 8 or 9.
Okay.
If it's cubic zirconia, I don't know. So
You cannot have a 10 that is not
nothing
diamond,
else is 10.
except diamond.
Yeah, that's why we say it's the hardest substance, natural substance on earth, right? That's why it represents love, right?
It is heartless.
Because love is hard.
It's there.
Take a picture. Send your wife. Done.
Okay, next please. Oh,
Hardness
can you
lah,
go
not
back
hardness
to
lah.
go back to just now that screen? Yeah. I tell you value wise, okay? Number 1 is $20. Okay? And I have a bag of them.
Okay. We all having one tonight.
Show me the bag.
You can cut it.
You can have any cut, any shape, any but actually they don't bother. So usually it's just big or small. You see, We have the whole bag here. They are all dummies. $20 one piece. I bought it in Hong Kong exhibition. Sure.
You want to play, right? Which is the real, which is the...
I bring out one second. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, he prepared like 4 diamonds mounted, 4 different types. Oh, 3. Oh, sorry. Natural, lab grown, and fake one. Okay. Yeah. So number 1 is $20. Number 2 is like $200. Lab grown, let's say 1 carat is $2,000. Natural 1 carat is like 9,000 now. Okay, so that is the price difference, and they all look pretty similar. No lah, of course the 1 and 2 can tell. Okay, next please.
Your price is wholesale price or retail?
Wholesale price, but just now the price I quoted you is not wholesale. It's just the price. I'll tell you wholesale price later.
So Amanda, when they say costume jewelry or Pandora or this what crystal,
so they are number 1. They are number 1.
So
So can be crystals, can be glass, plastic, anything, cubic zirconia. So no need this bag lah. See that one.
Those are good for wine glass.
Okay, next please. Okay, price. I think don't look at that because price change already.
Yeah, right.
Does the value of the natural diamond drop?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
And why?
So 20 years ago, when I was selling natural diamonds only, right? I sold we specialize in natural diamonds and we wholesale natural diamonds for 20 years. And the 1 carat that time that you look at, right, the cost is about 9,000, 10,000. If you talk about DEF, VVS, VS, it's 9,000, 10,000. Now it's 6,000, 7,000 cost, wholesale, 6,000, 7,000. Yeah. Because why? Your lab grown, when they came in 2019, 1 carat was about 3,000, 4,000. How much is it now? 1,000, 2,000. So because lab grown diamond and natural diamonds are your natural substitutes of each other. Let's say if now you want to buy a diamond, you will consider, do I buy natural or lab grown, right? So people are going into lab grown and therefore natural has to go down. Now this, to share deeply with you, is a challenge of a jeweler now. Imagine if you have 5,000 pieces of stock, your stock value just...
This is the one. And that means people who own diamonds and natural over the years.
This is natural. This is natural. Yeah, this is natural.
You rather have gold than diamond from that point.
Oh, this is very natural.
And that's why we don't yes, we switch our
This is the share. Then this is the diamond stimulus.
Diamonds are forever, like that just
So you invest in the
last forever.
You invest in the romantic side of things, right? It's an expression of love, right? Because my love for you is not pegged to money, dollars, right? That's my love.
But the bears had a certificate, like when you buy the stone, and you can come back at any point of time
To upgrade.
and the value, the cost will be by the certificate.
Sure. So eClarity also does that. If you buy a diamond from me, you can come back and buy a bigger one. You're all smart people. When you buy a bigger one, then you cannot enjoy discounts. So I'm just sharing with you how commercially this is run.
And the value of the new one might be more expensive.
Yeah,
as well.
I have
You don't
all my
get
terms and
information.
conditions. It has to be 25% bigger, a higher price, and all that, and no other discount. Cannot be a concurrent discount. This is how the we in the trade we are doing this, right? We have to make sure that we are still profitable.
Are there natural diamonds that are sold outside? Non-conflict zone type of diamond. Do you know the difference between those conflict zone
So,
and non-conflict?
in fact, we are part of the ecosystem, so we no longer need to care because we all sign an agreement in this agreement, what's it called, Kimberley or something, that we are not involved in conflict diamonds. So to us, of course, we're not involved, right? Because we're not mine holders. But we only trade with people who have signed this contract. We are all part of the ecosystem. So meaning, for example, South Africa mines very rarely see them signing this contract. So you only see the Israel the Belgium, India, they are all part of this. So we only trade among ourselves. We don't trade beyond that. So if anyone comes in with a bag of diamond, don't buy from them because you don't know the source. But this problem is also solved by lab-grown diamond. Transparent supply chain, you grow that in a lab, so there is no conflict diamond, and that's why the younger people also buy lab-grown because of that, right? Yeah.
But the people is that when you look at natural diamond, you don't know, right? You send to GIA for certification, you don't know whether it's conflict zone or not. You don't know.
So the report doesn't say that.
It doesn't tell.
Doesn't tell.
Just tell the quality of the stuff.
That's why we all depend on the ecosystem and the contract that we sign. Yeah. So much so that, you know, for us, in order to open a corporate account, we need to present that contract that we are part of the system. If not, we can't even open a bank account. So I think the control is global. Okay. All right. So come, let me just come back here. Come back. All right.
She's choosing already.
Choosing already. So which one is which one? I can tell. This one I know is fake. Okay. So just now you saw natural, lab grown. This is fake, right? So now you know. If you don't know, never mind. Ask for GRA and IGI report. Okay? Now, don't believe in any report because it could be issued by a vendor. I say or no? Okay, thank you very much. Okay.
But how do IGA?
IGI, not IGA.
How do IGI know that it's a lab grown or?
Very good question.
They won't know also.
The only way to differentiate them is the advanced gemology. I tell you how. You know the minerals, there are two ways. One way is the minerals that are trapped inside, the inclusions. The inclusion that you find above the wall and below the wall are different. Interesting? Below the wall only have those types of minerals, above only have that type of minerals. Although they are microscopic, they can be differentiated.
Without testing? Without testing?
Advanced gemology, they can test. Even I don't know how to. So you have to go advanced to know how to test the minerals. That's one way.
So on the IGI cert, they will say that it's natural? Or
Yes, they will. Everything else looks the same, but on top is lab-grown diamond, natural diamond. Now the second way, what if you get a flawless diamond that has no minerals? It's the growth morphology. So under the world, the growth goes like that, like triangle shape. On Earth, it goes in cubic. But who knows how to track the growth morphology? We don't know. So again, it's advanced gemology. You have to see the plane, like how it was grown. Not even an engineer.
So the younger people now, they are more into lab grown because, is it because they're against conflict diamonds, or the whole environmental thing is driving it? So therefore, the younger generation prefers lab grown and natural diamond.
That
Is it true?
part
Is
of
it a trend?
That it is also trendy. So it's very cool to come in and say, my girlfriend only wants lab grown diamond.
Yeah.
That sounds very, like you're very unique, right? And that's one reason. They also like it. Of course, people of my age like it because it's cheaper, right? But we don't say it that way. But it is, right? I mean, one is, you see, 1 carat, one is 10,000 or 9,000, one is 2,000. So what has that empower us? We can then buy funny things. You look at the ones that I'm wearing. So one side is natural, one side is lab grown.
Interesting.
Can you tell which is which?
No.
They're diamonds, is it? They're all diamonds?
One is diamond, one is emerald. So even gemstone now we go into lab grown emerald.
The other one is a yellow diamond.
This one,
Green.
Green.
So I think a green, because green diamond very interesting.
So green is natural or lab grown?
Emerald is emerald. But the emerald color
It's emerald, it's natural. Your left is lab grown.
Wrong.
Yeah, really?
Natural here, lab grown here.
No.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, why? This is
But I
so
did not
beautiful,
see
right?
it.
I actually wrote down the price. Let me see where I wrote it down.
Ooh, everybody's buying already.
But that's because
Oh, okay, so I have the price, huh? So this one, if it was, so this pair, if both are natural, is 65,000. If it's lab grown, it's 8,000. So then I just one side natural, one side lab grown.
You lab grown look nicer some more.
Oh yeah, this one look nicer, right?
Can you customize the
65,000,
color?
that's so
Huh?
small.
Can you customize
65,000.
color? Say that I want a specific shade.
Oh, you got money, can
Michael has. Michael
Yeah.
has.
Michael won't wear.
Usually, they have some selections for you. So like when you buy here, we will ask you whether you want the premium one or you want the lighter or darker. 3 choices. Then we choose for you. You know? Yeah. So this is fancy green. Now, what is this game about lab grown now? Because of lab grown, we can do all these funny things, right? Like we can say, I mean, green is not my color, but I get it because it's cheap now, right? So I mean, it's not cheap; it's affordable, right? Yeah. I mean, if not, I have to spend 65,000. I wouldn't. But 8,000, I think, can lah. You know, once in a while, right? Yeah. So so I think it's also timely to show you, for example, the pink diamond and the blue diamond. So now we have collection of pink diamonds. You see the lighter ones. So just now, Risha asked a very good question. Which ones are natural? Which ones are lab grown? Right. So now, if this was natural, I don't know how many $1 million this is, because it's so intense, so pink. It's like what, 2.8 million, 3.8 million. But when it's lab grown, it's 2,000. So is this natural or lab grown? Thank you. Right? Whereas the lighter one, it can be natural because it's not that. I mean, it's still in hundreds of thousands, but it's more likely that, let's say if I were to make a guess, I'll probably guess that it can be natural here and lab grown here. If you tell me there's one each, right? But all of these, we have it in natural and lab grown. Oh, no, this one I don't. But you know, we have the lab grown option.
In the graph, you showed the lab-grown diamond prices coming down. Do you think it's kind of bottomed out?
Almost already. So for the recent, I would say 6 months, it has bottomed out and it has gone on media and all that. That any lower, it's not meaningful anymore.
What about natural diamonds? Because
It's
they are
also adjusted to now 1 carat is only 6,000. Yeah. Unless there's another technological advancement. We don't know, right? Yeah. So now buy diamonds because you do fun things like this. But you know, buy a pink, buy a blue. Don't buy a colorless 5 carat. I think. Sorry, I mean conflict of interest. But feel free to buy. Yeah, you know, if it's your dream piece, is it time to buy? Yes, it is. But if it's for me, I'll buy something fun now. I'll buy a pink. I'll buy a blue, right? I'll do something interesting because it's affordable. I will buy a fancy shape, right? I'll buy an emerald cut. I'll buy because I can buy more.
Teardrop?
Yeah, teardrop. It's pear shape, right?
But then the natural diamond now has dropped to 6,000.
For 1 carat.
Yeah, then the lab grown maybe at 2,000. So the gap
1,000.
is 1,000. So the gap is narrow. We can also think in such a way. I used to not able to afford a natural diamond. Now I can afford a natural diamond because the price has dropped.
Thank you.
Yeah. The
Where-
heart is just
So you
harder.
You said lab grown is 1,000 or 2,000? 2,000.
Now, I mean, it depends. If you say inclusive of the mounting and all that, I think the loose one is about 1,005. It also depends on your color clarity, right? So now the trend is when you buy lab grown, they always buy D color VVS, affordable. So your D color VVS maybe 1,009. If you want your FVS2, maybe 1,005, right? Yeah.
So a diamond cannot be an investment anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
No longer.
Invest in
Just-
love, no? It's not like invest in like, yeah, I don't know how it works, but I think in terms of money wise, that kind of investment, I don't think so, right?
So with this trend, how does it affect your industry?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we will come to that. Yeah. Okay, let's jump to that. So firstly, remember my business model? I started with you buy then I buy. So luckily, I mean, although I started buying when the business was getting better and we sort of know what diamonds will surely go, right? So we started to stock. But we are not like a store where you stock 20,000 pieces. We work with 3 other jewelers combined with 20,000 pieces, but I only own 1/4 of it. So one is in Hong Kong, one is in New York, one in Malaysia. So thank goodness I didn't own that big amount of stock. But what happened is really the price just plummeted. Now, you being a jeweler, you struggle, should I cut loss and sell or should I wait? Should I cut loss and sell? You ask yourself every year, From 2019 that grown came out, you started asking. 2020 you ask again. 2019 you ask again. The prices keep going down. 2020, 2021, 22, 23, 24. Until now it's 6,000. It was from 10,000 to 6,000. Imagine multiply by 20,000 pieces. So that has affected us greatly. What is good about us is we were the first, actually second in Singapore to sell lab-grown diamond. We were first to sell, second to register. They registered in April, we registered in October, but we started selling before that. So our lab-grown diamonds were good, and we caught on to the first wave of, when lab-grown diamond was first launched, it was selling at 5,000. Natural was 10, lab-grown was 5 in the beginning, and we sold at 5. And then it goes to 4, goes to 3, goes to 2. Yeah. So the good thing is now, I must say that our lab-grown business has covered the loss of the natural diamond. And then again, we were the first to go into lab-grown gemstone, right? So that is how we are adjusting, adapting to the market change. But what is interesting is, you very rightly pointed out, at the 6,000 people are also flowing back, right? People are also flowing back. So, so I feel that now what happened is people like that, they like to sort of own a lab-grown, just participation, and then they also want natural. So like for me, undecided, then you get 1 side each, right? So that is that. Secondly, I also want to share how gold prices have increased. So while we were struggling and trying to adapt in this diamond world, because we were once selling ourselves as very academic, very wholesale, very good prices, and we were selling a lot. You can look at all the paperback behind. Not those. These are all our orders. So we do wholesale, we also do online orders. So we were selling well, but people were inquiring about gold, and we don't sell gold. So we were thinking, should we change ourselves to like one of the Po Heng and Heng Heng and all, then start selling the dragon and the phoenix? That's a total different business, right? So what we did was, we came out with this series. So remember I told you how when I started, I was combining my computer science and my gemology knowledge. In between, many things happened to my life. My mom passed away in a very unexpected manner. I also went through some ups and downs, and I studied psychology. So I have a master's in counseling psychology, and I truly believe in that. So now at the 20-year mark, I'm combining psychology and jewelry together. So we are coming out with series of jewelry that is to empower wellness, mental wellness. So this collection is called Love Me. Before you keep thinking about loving someone else, waiting for someone to love you, why don't we buy something for ourselves to love ourselves? So every bangle is 20 grams of gold. So you can invest. I mean, you amortize it, and then the prices will not decrease, right? Because the diamonds are just very small, right? You are really buying the gold. And every bangle has an infinity shape, representing that the love for yourself is forever. And then there is diamond as well, and you can engrave a special message from yourself to yourself. Yeah, so we are launching this. So far, the pre-order has been very good, and they really like the concept that you can finally buy something for yourself, or you can buy for someone to remind someone to love herself. Hint, hint. So that is our reaction to the market change, which is the gold prices are now more interesting. Investment is more interesting a topic to the public. So we are reacting towards that direction. Yeah. So we came out with light, pure, charm, and gala. 4 different range. It's 980, 3005, 4006, and 6005. You can see the design and the material is very similar to Cartier bangle. Cartier is selling at 39,000. So here we are to tell you we are busting that. We're selling you really the piece of gold and the actual value. So you're not paying for a brand, you're paying for the actual material. Next please. Okay, color I talked already, right? You know that yellow is because of nitrogen, blue is boron. Maybe do you know the difference between colored diamonds and gemstones? Right? So colored diamonds is not gemstone, right? Correct, huh? So diamonds meaning is the morph scale 10 and all that, but they have different colors because of the gas. Or too hard the pressure become pink. Now gemstone is something else. So your ruby, your emerald, your sapphire, those are gemstones. Different collections, different series.
But the colored diamonds are more expensive than the colorless?
Fancy colored diamond is more expensive than colorless diamond. You're right.
Rare.
Yeah, correct, rarer. Next question. Because it's very hard to have colored and yet nice. You know, that is commercial grade. Yeah. Okay, so all these are done. Let me see whether I miss out anything. Full price.
So has the colored diamond prices gone down?
Colored diamond, yeah. So for the whole natural, you mean the natural? Yeah, everything
Yes,
goes
also.
up together. Yeah. Why? Because your lab grown can have color now. Okay, so
Sorry, just a question.
my timing.
Sorry, how big are the lab grown diamonds? Like how big can you go? Is there like a maximum size?
No.
So they can make 20 carats.
Oh, I've seen 40, 50 carat.
So it's basically the whole natural diamond industry is affected by this, even the
It
big
is.
stones.
Yes, it is. Like how I said, right? 20 years ago there was only big one for lab grown. So now, yes, you can. In fact, you can really tell me what kind of diamond you want to grow. We have some very odd diamonds in here. Like some guys, they say my girlfriend likes a funny shape. We just grow the funny shape for them.
Oh, you grow it yourself?
Yeah.
Oh.
Not in Singapore.
Yeah.
So we work with our New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
And who are the suppliers of these lab-grown diamonds? Are they technology, the people who make the machines, or people like De Beers are coming in?
Yes, of course, also they came in as well. But now, like you and I,
Yeah.
we can say, let's go and buy a lab grown machine. Yeah. So I considered that, saw the machines, and then think that in Singapore it's hard to do it. And therefore, we now work with a New Yorker. It's like what do you call it? It's like an OEM not getting orders from us, but at least I don't have to worry about maintenance of the machine and hiring of the people. But at least we directly buy from the machine holder. It's not impossible to you and I talk after this and then buy.
What's the actual material, like carbon?
So there are 2 methods. One is HPHT, one is CVD. So CVD, if you remember your Sec 3 science, it's like you have a seed there and you grow from there. So CVD method, you need a seed diamond and you grow from there.
Small
CVD.
diamond,
Crystallization, remember Sec 3 young man?
Oh, yeah.
My son is here. How, hey, son come, son come. So this is
Burton,
my
you have
son.
to show us now.
Come, son.
Yeah.
So
Name.
this is Burton.
Burton.
So Burton today is here to model a banker. Come.
Oh.
Like.
Yeah. Alright.
So he's modeling this.
Real or not?
The Love Me. He's the silver one. This one, silver one. Yeah. Why do I talk about him? Oh, Sec 3 science. For crystallization.
Yes.
Yeah, so two methods, right? Thank you, Burton. So one is crystallization, which is the CVD method. The other one is high pressure, high temperature. That's why it's called HPHT. That one is presence of carbon and you compress it. Yeah. The first method was HPHT, and then they moved to CVD. Which one is better, right? No such thing. So you just look at report. Ultimately, it's a report that counts. If let's say we now want to buy a machine, then we have to sit down and see the percentage. But if not, I think as an end user, just look at the report. Like, what grade do I get? Is it D? Is it VBS?
So the seeds is also can be lab
Can be lab grown.
Yeah, lab grown, right?
Can be.
Okay.
Okay.
So do they specifically say, okay, we're going to grow, why would you grow other than D if you want?
Again, you can't control because nitrogen.
Okay.
Because of nitrogen. They will still accidentally. So we had people who wants to order like a 1 carat bracelet, like every piece is 1 carat because now it's affordable.
Right.
And then they say we want to have D, E color, and we try to grow for them. And I've learned that it's very hard to get all D. So it's still like E is possible, but D is something that we try very hard. So you still need to charge higher because there will be some that you think is a D, but when you grade it, it's an E. So yeah, so still hard.
Is the market for gemstones, lab-grown gemstones growing
It
as well?
is. It is. Again, it's something that we're very glad we again enjoy the. We were the first to go in again. So in fact, do you know I sponsored the YPO lucky draw, the Gala lucky draw? Yeah. So I sponsored this pigeon red. I don't know how many carat anymore. 2 carat ruby. So the natural price is 27,000. Cost price 27,000 USD. So we sponsored the lab grown version, which is a few $1,000s, and it's so pretty. On the report is pigeon red. Yeah. So
It's a ruby.
It's a ruby. It's a ruby.
There are lab grown rubies too.
Yeah. So this is again a brand new area that we are going. Yeah, and this is a lab grown emerald.
Yeah.
And I'm actually proud that I'm like being an old person, like wow, lab grown very hip.
It's so sad, like old person.
No, I just thought it's very modern and to say that I wear a lab grown,
You call yourself an old person.
So Amanda, is there a ratio of the size of a stone vis-a-vis the size of a woman? Is there a right ratio?
He said that he asked me before
What
this
do you mean by
session,
size
I
of
was like,
woman?
no, I'm offended.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
said whether you should buy the diamond for a woman according to the woman's size.
No, I think it's according to the wallet of the man.
Yeah.
Hey, you wear a big
Thank
one,
you,
like,
brother.
it's so all proportion, right?
Remember the
just saying.
16-year-old was wearing a 16. I mean, of course, like if you're buying 10 carat, right? Then yeah. But I think it's the design. It's a piece of art, right? So if you buy even a 2 carat, not too big, but if it's just one stone with no design, there's really no art in it, lah. It's just the diamond. But if you design something nice, however carat, I think it's a piece of art. It's also your expression of your effort, your love. Thank you. I see you two times.
So the size of the wallet.
What do you think of
Everything boils down to
facing-
love.
What do you think of the new world?
Bottom line.
New marketing to sell diamonds to women for men. You know this history of men egoism all the time. Oh, buy this for the woman. Oh, your wife would love it. Oh, the man. Hey, hello. YPO has a lot of very successful women. Well,
We're going one step at a time. So Okay, so when we share this love me concept, we realize the ones who are from 25 to 35, they love the concept because they believe in loving themselves. Like, why do I need to wait for somebody to buy for me? So they really love it. The 35 to 55, and I'm part of that, right, is that I spend half my life loving, where is he? And do I buy things for myself? I don't, I don't buy anything for myself. Like, I only buy for them. Travel also buy, so
Strong message for you.
So then I also thought, when I hear this love me concept, when I was inspired by that, I was like, heck man, I want to buy something for myself. So I actually ordered one for myself. Like, finally I can love myself. So I think it's one step at a time. I think let's focus on ourselves. Not that we're self-centered, but love yourself first before loving
That's
others.
my theme.
Yeah.
Dementia & Co. My brand, love the new me. Because I change every
Let's
single day.
collaborate.
Yeah, but I think it's about time also, really, for people to, so sorry to push this again, that for people to realize that women are very successful. Let's not be pushed down or be put down all the time.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. But also that there are many women out there who, this is just an idea for your own marketing.
Yeah,
We are. It's a huge
Thank you.
space that you can go into.
Thank you. So we are launching it. So in fact, we are. Oh, I think it's time. So before I end the session and pass on to our chat rep, Christmas is coming, New Year is coming, Valentine's Day is coming. So if you want to buy presents, today for YPO is 60% everything.
Wow.
60%. We've never done that before. 60%. And you
From
could
the wholesale price?
Yes, so all the counter.
Okay.
So we have a little tag price,
Okay.
but the 60% is wholesale price. Yeah, okay. And the bracelet and all that, we're also doing a launch price, which starts at 980. When we launch it, it will follow a bit closer to Cartier prices. Yeah. And then the pink diamonds as well. So enjoy yourself, but we will pass this around. You can look at some of the prices, and then you can do some shopping later on. So you can 60% offer to you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
So is it okay if I talk from here? I don't think I can squeeze in. So thank you, Crystal and Amanda, for having me here. So my name is Kenneth. I actually, my company, I actually represent Great Eastern Financial Advisors, but I do broker for different insurers. And I actually specialize a lot in Chubb Masterpiece Insurance, which specializes in actually insuring all your valuable articles. Now, Chubb Insurance is the only one in Singapore that actually insures fully your jewelry, watches, painting, and they have something that no other insurer has, which is called negligence clause. Meaning that if you were to lose your jewelry or your watches, and it is your fault, you can still claim. So I will just share with you some stories of my own clients that have made claims. Actually, 80% of my clients has made claims. I don't know, is it because the product is good or I sway lah. But they have made claims, but they're happy about it because they managed to recover back whatever they have lost. So I had a client who had a watch box and his cat jumped.
Sounds like
familiar. Someone like someone that Crystal knows. Cat jumped on his watch box and the whole watch box fell on the floor. So some of his watches was damaged. It sent for servicing and repair. Chubb covered everything. So he came up with there's a deductible of $200, but $200 to repair. I think he repaired 3 or 4 watches. Okay. The other one that was very interesting is that I had a client who's traveled with his wife, and she bought a Chanel bag. She went to the coffee shop. This was in Europe. She went to a cafe, she sat down, she left her bag there, and she thought it was Singapore. She went to buy a drink, she came back, the bag was stolen. Okay, so actually, at first she tried travel insurance, right? So number one, travel insurance has a limit, $500. And next thing they asked, what happened? So obviously she was like, okay, I put it on the floor, and I went to buy a drink. So the insurer was, so you put it on the floor. See, yeah. So you lost it. Because negligence, right? I chose to put it there. I didn't carry it with me. So she lost it. So that insurer declined the claim, but the husband bought the Chubb insurance, so he made the claim. So imagine that the bag was just bought about half an hour, haven't even reached Singapore, made a claim. Okay, and next interesting story is another client. You know, I think beginning of the year in Japan there was the JAL flight that hit the Coast Guard plane, right? So she was actually traveling inside. So at first when I read it, no Singaporean was on board, right? Yeah, but so she's Japanese. So when she messaged me, she was like, oh, I was quite shocked that I knew someone on that plane. She lost everything. It was all burnt. She and her 2 kids, total, they made a claim of about $60,000. Don't ask me why she traveled with $60,000 worth of luggage, but fully claimed. Yeah. So I think that is the interesting thing about this coverage is that, and to the advantage of, let's say, for a vendor, is that at least if, let's say, you were to buy something here, you lose it. Number one is on agreed value. Let's say you buy a ring that's $30,000. 10 years later, the price drops to $20,000. You lose your ring 10 years later, you get paid $30,000. Even though you buy a replacement, it's $20,000, you just pocket that $10,000. Or you can just buy a bigger item. Right?
How do you prove that you really use it? Because you're not the type.
Okay, so I've I've had clients that actually ask me, hey, it's so easy to make a claim. And yes, it's literally, okay, I had a client that he was running, he was holding his handphone and he went for a jog. It was raining. His iPhone was spoiled because water seeped through. He just wrote that down and he just made a claim. So how do you, basically this product is actually aimed towards the affluent. And to the affluent customers, they trust that you will not commit insurance fraud. Because yes, if you want to, make a claim of $20,000 to $30,000, but you go to jail, is it worth it?
But with things like diamonds and all, this is a true story.
Yes.
I threw 3 of my rings in the dustbin.
Yes. Accident, right?
I did not know. It was in the kitchen. I put it in paper in my kitchen towel because I was kneading flour.
Yes.
And 3 rings all went together.
Yes.
Who's going to believe this?
It
actually happened.
Yes,
and then a few years later, 1 more ring, luckily, we went down and found it in the garbage. Okay, so
So there was a claim like that before.
So you can't do retrospect.
So you find it. I mean, okay. So the thing is, the insurance company trusts that it's based on your word. So there is a claim before that there was a lady who dropped her ring in the toilet bowl. She somehow flushed it down. Okay, don't know, maybe she wanted a new ring, but they did pay up. They did pay it up. So once you have proven, you just return a report, you just send in your invoice, and that payout was paid out within 24 hours.
How much your insurance?
It really depends on what you are insuring and all that. So the highest premium so far in Chubb is about 1 year $200,000. He's a very famous American investor in Singapore. you can kind of guess who it is. Okay, his premium is that amount, but I would say like $100,000 watch or jewelry or diamond, or sorry, jewelry per year is about maybe $1,000, $1,800 per year. Yeah. Payout? $100,000.
Yeah. 2%.
Yeah, about slightly less than 2%, 1.8%. Yeah.
So you have to keep, just now you say you have to support with an invoice. So
yeah, so
how
that's
does
where
that,
the certification comes in also. Yeah. So of course when you say that, oh, let's say you have a diamond, and you cannot just say, okay, I have this diamond here, it's $200,000. You know, of course you have to say, you have to produce an invoice, and of course for diamonds they have to, need to have a cert. Yeah, you cannot have, you know, the worst clarity and all that, and then you say $200,000. So yes, there is claims. I mean, yes, like a case, if she had that insurance, she would have made the claim for the 3 rings that she threw. Yeah.
But what if it's like an heirloom from like my grandma, and I don't have a certificate or whatever?
Invoice.
Yeah, or not invoice.
Okay, so things like that, right? Okay. For jewelry, you have to just go and get it appraised. Yeah. So I've also done it with some clients before. They say, oh, this is an heirloom, you know. Once they get it appraised, they thought that, wow, this will be, $50,000. It comes back as $5,000. I say, then you don't need to list it. It's just under the general, it can be covered. Yeah. So just get it priced, and sometimes certain things you can just like, if you don't want to get it appraised, there are certain things that it is just based on what you say that will cost, and you just pay the premium on that. Yeah. So as I said, for myself, I buy it myself because I have watches and I also have home theater system. So my home theater system, I personally made a claim of about $30,000 because my amplifier blew when my house shot. So I made a claim. Yeah, it was just paid up fully. Yeah. So to me, this is part of the best coverage that you can have because it gives you total peace of mind. You can shop in Europe. I mean, sorry to say, but you know Europe is not as safe as it was before, right? So you can shop and buy things there. You still be covered even though you buy things as new and you have not told us. Come back before you even reach Singapore, it's all covered and all that. Yeah.
So it's by per piece or it's general coverage? Because
okay,
you just buy, how would you?
Okay, so anything above $25,000, then we will require you to list it. Anything below $25,000, you don't need to list it. So for example, you can just say, let's say you bought a ring from here, you lost it, just say, okay, you can just ask the lender, yeah, I bought a ring from you 5 years ago, can you just give me the invoice? Or a reprint of the invoice, just submit it to us and just we'll pay you that amount. Yeah. And it's usually, as I said, we try to do it within 24 to 48 hours of paying you. Yeah.
The claims is very fast free. Our cat has damaged a lot of things, from watches to projector screens to amplifiers.
I borrowed a cat.
There are some people, the claim site, they know my name. not Crystal, but you know, Wei, they get some claims. But it's all been paid up very, very fast. Yeah. So it's the only, I would dare to say, it's the only one in Singapore that does this. The other thing which I also want to share, because this insurance also can cover your house. I had a client who, I just shared this story just now to Richard, right? The helper went up to her and said, hey ma'am, because the helper was tasked to be the house manager and pay all the bills, like utility bills, so she went, hey ma'am, our water bill has been doubling and tripling. I think, you know, can you just check? So she suspected there is a leak, but underground, because they stay in a landed property, right? So they called the contractor to come. Now to find the leak cost her about $15,000. Okay. Now, being like any other insurer, they do not cover wear and tear. Okay, so when they found the leak, there was the pipe had wear and tear. Okay, but what they did was that the insurer paid the finding of the leak, so they paid the 15,000, and the contractor basically just did some magical accounting that the pipe was only $100. So the client only paid $100 to the contractor, and everything else was covered under the insurance. Yeah. So as I said,